Pictures Studios lost an estimated $6.1 billion.
USAs regering
Damn.
hotade Sverige med handelssanktioner om inte fildelningssajter som The Pirate Bay.
Det handlar egentligen inte om juridik imorgon, det handlar om
I don't know
politik i
that.
första hand.
Yeah.
Jag kan med glädje idag meddela att The Pirate Bay är uppe igen. In your face.
So goddamn, is it a different language? What's going on? Well, I should be throwing up a flag too, boy. How much movies I done pirated back in the day? Ooh, boy, that. Oh man, I done pirated, boy. I need to be with them, boy. I done pirated so many movies from I say 2014. No, before 2014. It had to be like 2012 to about 2016. But I was pirating movies and TV shows left and right. Boy, that I was watching every movie, everything the Pirate Bay, but that was my favorite thing out there. But I buy so many TV shows and shit. That shit was crazy. Now that I think about it, I got an old laptop just full of movies and TV shows. Like I for sure done pirated over $5,000 worth of movies and TV shows for sure. I know I did.
It was well worth doing prison time for the Pirate Bay.
Oh goddamn, he did prison time? Oh shit. Shit just turned up. Oh shit. Oh damn.
This was the final battle cry of a Pirate Bay co-founder Frederick Nage.
Damn.
After getting raided by the police multiple times, being fined 46 million kroner,
God
and
damn.
being thrown in prison alongside some of the most vile people on Earth. Frederick was the only person in his entire prison that was there for a virtual crime. Everyone else there was convicted for robbery, assault, manslaughter, or worse.
God damn,
But
what?
things
Hold on, why they put him in the God damn, they put him in real prison. I thought they ain't put him in no white collar prison or nothing like that. Damn. They say you have to survive with the tigers and lions and shit.
weren't too bad in prison, says Frederick. He immersed himself with reading letters from fans about how much the Pirate Bay meant to them. This isn't to say that Frederick willingly turned himself in, though. Like any normal human being, he very much dreaded the idea of going to jail and was on the run for several years as one of the most
They had him on a run. Bro, I remember them talking about the FBI watching the Pirate Bay and shit, and the Pirate Bay being down sometimes. But bro, I ain't know he was on the run. They had him up on the run. Free him. I can say free him because, but you helped me out for a long time, but I can free him. Fuck that.
hated individuals by media organizations around the world.
Yeah.
But eventually, the law did catch up with him, putting him behind bars. But this only strengthened Frederick's personal conviction, as the letters reminded him of why he did everything in the first place. Unlike other piracy website creators, Frederick wasn't trying to make money or get rich or screw over big companies. He had founded the Pirate Bay out of principle. The idea that information, culture, and the knowledge should be shared freely around the world without the interference of corporate greed, bureaucracy, or political influence. In fact, Frederick had been fighting for this cause long before he co-founded the Pirate Bay or gained any sort of notoriety. Before his Pirate Bay days, Frederick was part of a Swedish anti-copyright group that went around the world
Goddamn.
engaging in piracy debates and giving lectures about the right to information.
Wait, so what? Piracy? What the fuck is a piracy? Who is you debating? What? Oh well, hey, as long as it led him to making the Pirate Bay, boy, that was some good times for me back in the day.
This is where Frederick
outta
met
here.
the other founders, Gottfried
Okay.
Swartum
Okay,
and
see?
Peter Sund. And together, they
Let
would
'em-
go on to create one
okay.
of the most controversial yet legendary sites of all time. So here's how the Pirate Bay went from being an ideological effort to becoming an international icon, despite police raids, jail time, and
Oh
the
my
efforts
God.
of the media industry at large.
Oh, the media industry tried to take him out too, boy. I think ain't they still around to this day? I think the Pirate Bay's still around. I just don't use it because I don't own pirate movies and shit no more. I can go to the fucking movies and do it now, so I ain't got no problem fucking paying for it. But back then, 12 to 16, I ain't had no goddamn money. Fuck. What money I'm gonna use to go to the movies? Or watch a TV
The
show
story of the
that's
Pirate
on
Bay
HBO
dates
or some
back to
shit.
the late 1970s and early 1980s to the country of Sweden, where all three of our protagonists were born. Not much is known about any of the founders' childhoods, but from what we do know, it wasn't anything to brag about. Frederick was the oldest of the bunch, having been born on April 27, 1978, in the city of Jönköping, Sweden. There's rumors that he dropped out of high school, and it appears that he just stumbled through his life one day at a time. A similar
Damn,
story
where
could
he
be said
dropped out
about
for?
Gottfried as well, who was the youngest of the bunch, having been born on October 17, 1984. Gottfried was your classic computer nerd slash hacker of the 1990s and 2000s. Think Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park.
Like, I just gotta give it up to people like that, because if you was a hacker with air quotes and shit like that back in the 90s and early 2000s, I figure you had to be smart. You got to be smart, because you had to damn near figure out everything on your own. Like, bro, that's crazy. Like, anytime I got a problem, I go straight to YouTube, and YouTube go tell me exactly how to fix it. But back then, it wasn't no YouTube or nothing like that. All you had was probably like some forums where somebody might have asked the same question as you, and then you just hoping that somebody actually answered the damn question. But hey, bro, you had to be smart as fuck to do that.
And then there was Peter Sander, who was the only one that would be considered somewhat successful by modern society. But this wasn't to say that his childhood was any better. Peter was born on September 13th,
Hey, I ain't gonna
1978.
lie. Them boys should have been. If they ain't millionaires now, they should damn sure be some fucking millionaires. They done contributed a lot, man. They contributed too much. They gotta be fucking millionaires.
And
They gotta have a good
At
life.
first, his life
For all the
wasn't
happiness
that
they
bad.
done brung
His
everybody.
mother was a staff consultant at a large company, and his father was a traveling mechanic. But all of this fell apart when Peter's parents got a divorce when he was just 8 years old. His mother would become clinically delusional as she developed psychosis,
Oh,
which
goddamn.
resulted in the family constantly moving all across Scandinavia. Unsurprisingly, Peter would end up dropping out of school in his teens. But there was one saving grace: computers. Computers were Peter's one and only escape from his harsh reality, and this led to him becoming quite a skilled programmer. Ironically, if he had this same childhood in modern times, it's likely that he would have become a lifeless social media addict like myself.
Hey, man, social media is addictive as fuck, especially like Instagram. Oh my god, I'd be so tired of Instagram, but I can't stop. Or shit, even YouTube now. Like, they got YouTube Shorts. Like, I be unintentionally on YouTube, and I click on a short. Next thing I know, 2 hours gone. Like, bro, I didn't even do nothing. I just clicked on one. I didn't mean to fucking scroll for 2 hours. Then on Instagram, it's even worse. Man, I hate fucking Instagram, because I be get to scrolling, and the next thing you see ass. I'm like, god damn. But I can't stop scrolling. Like, then my thumb start hurting and shit. I'm like, man, this shit too addicting. And then I know it'd be an addiction that I gotta probably stop, because I try to delete it. I can do it for a day, but then the next day I'm like, man, you know you ain't really addicted to that shit. You can re-download it. You can control yourself. And then I go through the same process again. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm tired of this shit. I need to find something else to do.
Anyways, things were different back then. The people spending all of their time on computers weren't endlessly scrolling through TikTok. They were enthusiasts learning
Glad
how
I
to
ain't got
code and
TikTok.
hack
It probably
systems,
would be
and
worse.
this would catch the attention of German technology company Siemens. Siemens is the people behind many of the IT systems used at hospitals. And they would hire Peter to upgrade their patient registration system from being fingerprint-based to being retinal-based. It
Oh,
seemed
goddamn.
like a pretty good gig at first glance, but Peter could not stand it at Siemens after he joined. He would discover that his development efforts were being used to identify and deport illegal immigrants, leading them
Oh,
to do
damn.
unthinkable.
Damn. So, I mean, I was gonna say most people probably feel the same way. Like, man, I really hate my job, but I can't do nothing, so I got to just stay here. Most people feel like that, but this shit, boy, you think you just developing some regular ass shit, but you out here deporting fucking immigrants and shit. and you really care about that type of shit, oh boy, that's gonna eat at you. That's gonna eat at your soul right there. That's crazy, boy. If you were really a person that really gave a fuck about people and shit, that'll eat at your soul. You'll really be thinking about that shit all
Couple
your
things.
life.
You see, many of these immigrants would burn their fingers on kitchen stoves before visiting the hospital to avoid being identified.
Oh my
This
God.
was actually one of the main reasons that Simons wanted to switch to a retinal system.
Oh,
But this simply gave
do they still do that? Cause boy, that's some dedication. I ain't gonna lie, that's dedication. How hot you gotta get the damn stove to burn your fingerprints off? But that shit probably hurt for about 2 days. Cause shit, you get a little burn on you a little bit. That shit still be stinging for the rest of the day down there. You fucking playing with the lighter and that shit burn you. That shit still be stinging for the rest of the day. And then the next day, it's starting to heal, but it start feeling funny and shit. Like, so imagine burning your fingerprints off. Oh man, that's crazy. That's wild.
Peter nightmares about immigrants poking out their eyes like Victor Creel.
Oh my
He
God.
tried to take it up with his managers, but this
Oh my God. Where the fuck is they coming from? If they, boy, I ain't gonna lie, boy, let them in there. Let them stay. If they going through all that, let them stay, man. Fuck out of here. Bro, if they willing to poke out their eyes just to stay in the, bro, let them stay. No, bro, let them stay, bro. Ain't no reason to deport them, boy. They love it here. Fuck you talking about. They love it here. Don't deport them. I don't know where they coming from, but obviously it's horrible. Don't deport them
simply
motherfuckers.
gave him the title of being negative and difficult to work with. Being drained from work every day, the only solace Peter found was during the evenings when he scrolled through online forums, leading him to discover the world of piracy. Peter's privacy journey started with him swapping music and movies on invite-only servers, which led him to meeting fellow scallywags
See, if I was in the 90s and 2000s, I would have been right there trying to get the movies. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't even have a fucking computer. Probably wouldn't even thought about trying to fucking get into a forum to get music and movies and shit. Cause I really came up when for movies, like I was still a young jit, not movies for music, but me, everybody was using LimeWire, but I was too young, so I wasn't even listening to music. I just knew what everybody used. My cousin actually used to burn CDs for everybody and shit, and they used to sell them. So I knew they used to use LimeWire and all that, be burning CDs and all that. But that's like, I gotta say what that is, like 08, right? Probably earlier than that though. Yeah, that's when I came up. I don't even talk about going in the forums to getting music and movies. I don't think regular people would have been able to find that. And then, bro, you gotta, oh my, but the dedication you probably had to go through. I just thought about it, bro. They had dial up back then, ain't it? Or am I tripping? I think it was dial up. Well, all the stories I done heard about dial up, but that shit used to be so slow and shit, bro. To download one song, bro, it probably took all day. Ain't no way you go have enough dedication to do all that. Bro, now think about a movie, boy, that's about 3-4 days probably. And they say you couldn't make a call or nothing like that when you had the internet working. Oh boy. He was dedicated. Hey, well, dedication right there.
Frederick Nage. Frederick introduced Peter to the file-sharing movement and to the newly founded anti-copyright organization Piratbyrån, or the Pirate Bureau. Piratbyrån was founded on August 1st, 2003, by a bunch of societal outcasts just
3
like
years
Peter,
old.
Frederick, and Gottfried. Their goal was to make information available to people of all backgrounds and stature and to promote free speech above everything else. Not saying I agree with how they went about doing this, but honestly, it does seem like their intentions were way more pure than most of the people who actually control the world today. With this idea in mind, the group got to work. Some members tried opposing pro-copyright lobbyist groups. Others traveled the world and gave lectures on radio and TV. Our trio decided to create a website. this was specifically Frederick's idea. He wanted to create a BitTorrent tracker, and he would recruit the help of Peter and Gottfried for the IT and coding side of things. Given the relative simplicity of the website, Peter and Gottfried had this up and running in no time, and Piratbyran would launch the website on September 15th,
I
2003.
see what they called it.
This was actually just one of many websites that this trio launched. Moving into 2004, Frederick and Gottfried would create a full-on internet service provider and a web hosting company called PRQ.
Oh goddamn! Oh, they will provide internet shit. Oh my god! You know this early a regular person. Well, I don't know about regular, but you can start your own internet service back then. Damn.
Don't be fooled though. This was no AT&T. With PRQ,
no, but no
Frederick
mind.
and Gottfried looked to give an online voice to anyone and everyone, regardless of what they stood for or did. This included some unheard and repressed voices, but it also included a bunch of creeps.
Yeah.
Literally. There were a
More
bunch
than
of forums
likely.
hosted on PRQ that advocated for, how should I say it, unorthodox relationships. Though Frederick
I was
and
about to say, I don't know if this true, but I sort of feel like there were probably a lot more pedophiles back in the day than it is now. I don't know. I just feel like that because I feel like no. Fuck it, I gotta talk myself through it. So basically, this how I feel. I was finna say, oh, they probably was lonely as fuck back then, cause like if you was on the internet back then, you basically you had the whole what the fuck it is, Reddit mod like body and shit, like you were basically a homebody. Damn, I don't know how to fucking damn. Cause I feel like I say, like, even if you're addicted to social media and all that, now you still somewhat. No, I guess it's about the same. It's the same. Fuck it. It's still a lot of motherfucking pedophiles, all on the same. I don't fucking know.
Gottfried
Crazy.
definitely did not agree with everything that was hosted on their platform. They defended all of their customers equally, citing freedom of speech. Something
No, I ain't gonna lie. Which one agreeing with the pedophile shit? No, get them off. Kick them out. I'm sorry. Ain't no pedophile shit going on around here, man.
else that sparked a bunch of controversy
that.
was yet another one of this duo's ventures, America's Dumbest Soldiers. Honestly, this one was quite distasteful. The website consisted of a list of deceased American soldiers, and it
Oh,
prompted
goddamn.
people to vote on how dumb their deaths were. Little to say, this site
No.
did not stay up for very long.
Yeah, no,
While
that-
these other ventures definitely caused a
was
scene by
wild.
themselves, it turned out that the trio's original venture would have the greatest sticking power. And luckily for them, it was pretty cheap to run. After all, the Pirate Bay didn't actually have any file hosting or server-to-client downloading abilities built in. The site simply connected people with a library of links, and all the downloading took place using peer-to-peer
Oh,
protocols.
that's
so
how it
the
worked?
trio just had to ensure that they had enough server capacity to handle all of the search volume, indexing, sorting, and filtering. But to their surprise, it didn't take long for this itself to become unmanageable.
The legendary rise, boy, it took off,
As
boy.
the Pirate Bay exploded in popularity,
I used to
it
love that
became
shit.
abundantly clear that this could no longer be treated as a side project. So, in October of 2004, the trio would transition the site into being a standalone nonprofit based in Seychelles, though this is disputed. If you also have no idea what this place is, you're not alone. The Seychelles is an East African country that's composed of 115 islands, and it just so happened to be the perfect place to set up a shell company. Now, they had an entity. All they needed was infrastructure. Enter Carl Lundstrom. This guy was one of 5 heirs to the Wazabread fortune. I've actually never
I don't even know what the fuck that is, but so basically, you trying to tell me they ain't make no money from that? No, I'm sorry, I ain't that generous, my boy. Run me a little something, man. I ain't doing all this for free. Gotta run me a little something. I see millions of people using something online, and I know I made it. No, I gotta at least make something. I gotta be able to make this a career or something. Shit.
heard
Yeah, I
of
need
this
some money.
company, but they're
I don't
super
want to be
big.
broke. I don't want to have to go back to a job. The fuck? I just made this raw ass site and everybody using it, but I still got to work a job. No, I'm cool.
They're extremely popular across Scandinavia, and they're actually the largest crisp bread producer in the world. By the time
Sound like some British shit. Crisp bread. That sound like something they eat over there.
2022, this company would be sold to a Swiss pharmaceutical company called Sandoz, which made Carl a mega millionaire by the time that most of us would even graduate college. Carl would turn around and use this
College,
wealth to fund a
shit.
variety
I was
of
in middle school.
extreme political movements, and it wasn't long till he crossed paths with our protagonists. He would agree to provide the Pirate Bay with all of the required servers and infrastructure, and before you knew it, the Pirate Bay would become a fully funded venture, making copyright holders around the world cry. But they weren't crying for long. They were hurt, and they were hurt bad. Hollywood claims that in 2006 alone, piracy cost them $6.1 billion.
I wasn't a part of that then, so I ain't got nothing to do with it. But hey, man, fuck y'all. That's what y'all get. Well, I can't say that's what y'all get, but you know, you find, well, I guess they just accept it and not, cause it's easy as hell to find movies online and shit now. It's very, all you gotta do is search and it pop right up. But I guess back then they wasn't used to it. They ain't know how to somewhat stop it or nothing like that. You gotta think, if all back then, if everybody had to go to the movies or buy a DVD just to watch something, you know how much money that was? Like, that shit, especially back then, like, damn, that was a lot of money you missed out on. Eat for 2006. That's a lot of fucking money. That money went a long way right
The biggest
there.
culprit enabling this
Well-
asinine behavior was the Swedish site that was just one Google search away, the Pirate Bay. Naturally, Hollywood wanted revenge. They wanted justice. So they marched over to the Swedish authorities and demanded that the Pirate Bay be taken down as soon as possible. This was met with a chuckle from Sweden. I'm not even kidding. You see, Sweden is surprisingly chill about copyright and patents. In fact, they have a full-on political party called the Pirate Party, whose entire focus is to
Damn.
reform copyright law. Hollywood was gobsmacked, and they would take their grievances to the good old US of A. Surely, their hundreds of millions of lobbying dollars would actually earn them some respect from the American
No, I
authorities.
ain't gonna lie, they
And
can't do nothing.
they were
I already
right.
know
The
it.
US
Oh.
would turn around and go, "Yo, Sweden, you better shut down those mischievous rascals you got there. You don't
I ain't think they were gonna do nothing. I thought they would like, shit, we can't do nothing. I thought that's what they were gonna say.
want us to bring out the stick and impose trade sanctions through the World Trade Organization, right?" And to that, Sweden would respond, "Your wish is our command," and they would go ahead and raid the Pirate Bay servers in Stockholm on May 31st, 2006. There was so much equipment that
06.
the Swedish police would end up filling 3 trucks worth of computer equipment and servers. Surely, this would put an end to the nonsense, they thought. But, the Pirate Bay would be back up in just 3 days.
That's one thing you can count on by the Pirate Bay, boy. When I was using it, I think the longest it probably was off was probably about 2 weeks. And I remember be searching, they were like, yeah, they got raided by the FBI and shit. I'm like, oh damn, bro, the Pirate Bay gone. Oh, how I'm gonna get my movies and shit. That was my first thought. I'm like, damn, bro, all the movies and shit on there. How the hell I'm gonna watch something? I didn't even think people was on the run and shit like that from the police. That's damn. They were going through it, wasn't it?
You're probably wondering, how was the trio able to restart the Pirate Bay so quickly? Well, the answer is that the Pirate Bay is nothing. It's really just a massive Excel sheet with a bunch of links. In fact, the entirety of the Pirate Bay can be compressed into a 90 megabyte zip file.
Oh god damn.
So they didn't have to maintain massive convoluted code bases and repositories or enterprise resource planning software. All of the servers and equipment were simply there to support the extraordinary traffic. So as soon as they were able to find new infrastructure, they were able to upload their tiny zip file and go live in no time.
It's crazy.
This time, they chose to put their servers in a more discreet location somewhere in the Netherlands, so that the police couldn't just turn around and raid them again. Hollywood was triggered. Not only was the Pirate Bay back up and running, but the police raid had simply drawn even more attention to the website. Clearly, Hollywood didn't have much power in Sweden, so they turned their focus to American companies. They might not be able to shut down the Pirate Bay, but maybe they could prevent you from accessing it? They started working with Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and ISPs to suppress the sharing and searching of Pirate Bay links. But
Ain't gonna happen.
this only made things worse.
Saying
Here's the
like it's like people like little ass kids. You tell them not to do something or don't do that, we go fucking do it. We even if we gotta go through all the hoops and all that just to do it, we still go do it. Just to fuck with you. Just cause you said don't do it. We still go do it just to fuck with you.
thing.
That's what's so weird about the internet. When somebody say don't do that, and in the mind of people on the internet, they say, you know, fuck you, I'ma still do it. And just laugh at you. That shit be funny as fuck when shit like that happen.
When you tell people not to do something, that's when they want to
See?
do it.
See?
And
I
this
just said the
couldn't
same
be
thing.
truer with the Pirate Bay. Just because Facebook or Google suppressed Pirate Bay links doesn't mean jack. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to go directly to the Pirate Bay website and search up whatever you want. And this is exactly what was happening. By 2008, the Pirate Bay became the 97th most visited website on the entire
damn.
internet. And they were even having talks about selling the website to global gaming factory XAB for $8.5 million. It was becoming
damn.
abundantly clear that there was only one way
Well, you
to
can't
stop
stop
this
it.
madness. Strike the tent. On January 31st, 2008, Swedish prosecutors would file charges against Gottfried, Fredrik, Peter, and Carl. From the very beginning, this was a decided case. Pirate Bay's lawyers tried to defend that the Pirate Bay was simply hosting links, and that it wasn't actually encouraging or enabling piracy. If you want, you could use the site to share open source software or memes. While this was technically true,
Hold up, what the hell he just called that? Hold up, no.
open source
I ain't missing
software
that.
or memes.
Okay. It just sounded wrong. It sounded like he said memes or some shit, but he said memes. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to get on his ass about that.
While this was technically true, let's face it, these guys were literally part of Piratbyrån, and all of this was completely intentional. So their argument was quickly shut down, and on April 17, 2009, all four of them would be sentenced to 1 year in jail, along with a 30 million kroner fine, which is about $3.5 million. They would try appealing and
So how they making a living? That's what I want to know. Like, is they making some type of money? How? They say it was non-profit. Was it a donation link somewhere or something like that? It wasn't no PayPal. Was it Bitcoin out there? I don't even know. I don't know.
this did result in shorter prison sentences. Fredrik would go down to 10 months, Peter would go down to 8 months, and Carl would go down to 4 months. But the appeal also came with a larger fine of 46 million kroner or $6.5 million.
God
The
damn.
walls were closing in, and there was only one thing the trio could do: get on the run.
Oh gee, I'm about to do like a TK. I'm finna hop on the run. Boy, hell no. Fuck a case. I'm finna trying to beat a case. Fuck, I done fucked up the whole song just there. Hold up. I fucked up the whole
If you're
song.
wanted by Hollywood at large for causing billions of dollars worth of lost revenue, you would think that it would be a good idea to lay low. But all three of our protagonists would do the exact opposite. Fredrik would run away to Laos/Thailand, and he would create yet another file sharing site called Bay Files in 2011. Apparently, this website was supposed to comply with copyright rules, but you can take that for what you will. Not only did Fredrik launch
I don't
another
know that
site,
one.
but he would regularly cross the border between Laos and Thailand because he had residences in both countries. In fact,
He'll
he
get
crossed
some
the
money.
border almost 30 times before getting caught in November of 2014, at which point he would be deported back to Sweden, where he spent 200 days in jail.
Ah
At least
shit, boy.
Fredrik-
You eat that and just go back to doing whatever the fuck you're doing. Fuck that.
Fredrik created another site that was legal, at least on the front. Gottfried, on the other hand, would run away to Cambodia and go full-on spy mode and become a regular hacker for WikiLeaks. He would literally infiltrate Denmark's social security and driver's license
goddamn.
databases. I don't think that you'd be surprised to hear that when he was caught in August of 2012,
That boy got some time.
his prison sentence would be upped to 3.5 years.
Yeah, that boy
But
got some time
he
for
would
that
be
one.
let go after 3 years.
he said that like that was a fucking prize or something. He did down to 90%. Talk about he got 3.5, but he got under 3. Motherfucker, I did half the time. I did most of the time. You only gave me 6 months extra. Shit. The fuck, I did 99%.
And finally, as for Peter, well, my man straight up joined Finland's Pirate Party and ran for European Parliament in the 2014 election. Let's
Damn.
just say he was arrested a few days after the election, and he had to serve 5 months in jail.
Oh,
By late
shit.
2014, all 3 founders were not only disconnected from their Pirate Bay, but they were all straight up in jail. So prosecutors figured that this was the perfect time to end this once and for all. On December 9th, 2014, the police would conduct yet another raid on the Pirate Bay, and they would shut down the original website for good. Surely,
shit, that
the
motherfucker
founders
right
could
back up.
not pull any quick ones this time, right? Well, they were right. None of the founders would try to restart the Pirate Bay after their jail sentence. Frederick would return to Laos and get a job in IT. Peter would work on a micropayment system called Flatter and a messaging platform called Hemless. Godfrey
I don't know
would
neither
also
one of
return to
them.
the IT sector and move on from the Pirate Bay.
See, bro,
Yeah.
this what I'm saying. Like, after all that, you gotta go back to work. Fuck that. You supposed to be multi-millionaires. Y'all supposed to be living life. Y'all done created a website everybody was using, man. You supposed to be living life. You supposed to be on some Amazon Jeff Bezos type shit, riding around on yachts and shit. In my head, god damn, boy, everybody using your site, and you gotta go back to a job. Fuck that.
Yes, the founders were
Fuck
done
that.
and out, but there were thousands of people wanting to carry on the legacy. Remember how we talked about it being really easy to store the entirety of the Pirate Bay? Well, it turns out that a lot of people had been regularly saving copies of the website. So whenever one version of the website is taken down, it's just a matter of time until another one pops up with a slightly different domain.
Oh,
At
that's
first,
what they
prosecutors
was doing.
tried taking down these websites one after another. But it quickly became evident that this was simply a waste of time, effort, and resources, because the legacy of the Pirate Bay was truly unstoppable.
Boy, they making me want to grab my motherfucking my motherfucking shirt or something. Give me a pirate shirt or something, my boy. Get my hat. Give me a pirate hat out this motherfucker. Make me want to get back into the game. Hell no. It was all doing that. Some dedication right there.
Pirate Bay started off as a project created by a bunch of misfits and outcasts. But it quickly turned into the icon of the internet and the worst nightmare of copyright holders. Hollywood tried burying it, shredding it, and burning it. But in the end, they decided to just give it all away because what other choice did they really have?
I'm saying, you can't
Also,
stop the
if
internet.
you're wondering about what happened to the fine, well, here's what Peter had to say about it.
I ain't paying that
During
shit.
the press conference
That's what he
following the
probably
verdict, Peter would hold up a sign saying that he owes copyright holders 31 million kroner, and that confession is all that copyright holders would ever get. If that wasn't clear enough, he would go on to clarify that he didn't have the money.
I'm saying.
Even if he did, he'd rather burn everything and not even give them the ashes. And that right there is the legendary history of the
But I can't sit here and be like, oh, yeah, you should be able to pirate everything and all that. I know I was playing around, but yeah, nowadays I'm not really with piracy. 'Cause I can afford it now, type shit. But like when people pirate games, the way people can stop people from pirating games is what they've been doing. Like it be either they fuck with you in the game some fucking way. Like I think which game it was it? And what game it was? It stopped you from actually finishing the game. Like you'll get to like the second to the last mission, and they'll like basically stop you and say, "Oh, go buy the full game." Like, bro, you know how fast I go buy the game. You got me fucked up. I gotta see the ending. I just put motherfucking 60 hours into the game just for you to tell me, oh, you gotta actually pay for the game. Boy, I'm going to pay them 60 so quick, man. Shit. You can't just cop block me like that. You blue balling me. I gotta go finish that game. The fuck? Oh, and I think like Skyrim, what Skyrim did, I think it basically it put didn't it put like a whole bunch of more glitches into it, like unplayable glitches, even though Skyrim already glitchy as fuck. I think it made it like unplayable type shit.
The Pirate Bay. Do you guys think piracy is moral? Comment that down below. Also, drop a like if you think that the Pirate Bay is an internet legend.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
of
for
course,
damn, it's
consider
for
checking out
damn
Reddit's
sure
community,
legend.
suggest future video ideas, and consider subscribing to see more questions logically answered.
Hello, I gotta like it
Until
because
then.
it's damn sure a legend right there. For sure. But alright.